Right, you lot, and we have entered Euros season. The Euros literally start in a couple hours as I'm filming this, and I thought I'd squeeze in the predictions. I'm sorry for the lack of content. It's GCSE season, alright, so let me off. Right, so I've been watching everybody do these predictions, and my problem with these predictions is that they're pretty much a waste of time because everyone predicts that the big favourites. Like, everybody always goes, oh, well, these big nations are all going to be in the quarterfinal, but that just isn't how it happened. You know, Morocco made the final four of the World Cup. No one saw that coming. So I've tried to throw in a few upsets in there, as well as logic. Don't worry, I've not predicted Georgia to win the tournament. Now, I'm only going to be doing the group stage, so I'll be saying all my fourth to first in every group, and then I'll give you my fourth out of the six third places as well. So I'll tell you who my 16 are going to be. So let's start with Group A. Fourth, I'm going for Scotland. I'm sorry, Scotland. And I'm not even doing this to laugh at you. Here's my issue, right? Now, this is actually Scotland's probably best ever team in a long time. It's kind of a golden generation for them. You know, they've definitely got a lot more quality players than they would before, and a lot of their players are playing to a certain level. But my issue is that this group is very difficult. They're up against difficult styles of teams, and I just think they're going to get outclassed. I just can't see a world where they get anything against Germany or Hungary. And then when it comes to Switzerland, they're a very difficult team to break down, and I think that will probably be a draw. Okay, third, I have gone for Switzerland. Switzerland are a team that really don't have too many stars in the sense they're not that fantastic, but they're just a really good bunch and they're very astute and they tend to always get through in these tournaments and people always doubt them, but they always tend to arrive in the last 16. I mean, in the last tournament they knocked out France somehow. Like, they're a tricky team and I think that they will just about squeeze third place in this group. Second is Hungary. I think Hungary are a dark horse that a lot of people are not talking about. The odds, the bookies, there's other dark horses, the likes of Serbia or Austria, who are a lot more prominently betted on compared to Hungary, and I think Hungary have a fantastic chance. Rossi's been the Hungary manager for a long time, and he's really grown with that squad and really developed them. Of course, they've got not the biggest stars. Of course, Szoboszlai is the major player for Hungary, of course, who I think will have a major role to play in whatever Hungary do, but I think they will be getting second. I think they will beat both Scotland and Switzerland. Yeah, they'll lose to Germany, but you know, it is what it is. First, Germany. They've got to top this group, surely. Now, Germany have been underperforming for a decade. Ever since they won it in 2014, we saw a group stage exit in 2018, a knockout exit in Euro 2020, and of course in the last World Cup, a group stage exit to Japan. So it's been disappointing for Germany, but I think this Germany squad are actually really exciting. Having Florian Wirtz, of course, Jamal Musiala, just to name a few. It's one of the better German squads we've seen in a long time, and Nagelsmann's squad for Germany is a bit similar to Southgate's squad for England in the sense that he's not taken someone like Leon Goretzka, you know, who's maybe underperformed this season. He's taken a lot of form players. He's taken players from Stuttgart or Leverkusen who have had big seasons and made big cuts on quite prominent German figures. So I think this could backfire, but I have a really good feeling about Germany. Watch out for Kai Havertz as well, because I think he's going to rack up the goals in this tournament. Okay, Group B, last I've gone for Croatia. No, I haven't gone for Albania last. Croatia, I think, are past it. And in the World Cup, they were quite lucky, to be honest. You know, they got to the semi-final against all the odds and got third in the tournament. How did that happen? Because in the group stage, if Romelu Lukaku could score, they would have been out. But somehow they beat Brazil. I just think the Croatia team, I look around at them, the likes of Brozovic, Kovacic, even Modric, these are players who are past it. They're on the way out, and I think a more energetic, young Spain side is going to rip this team to shreds, similar with the Italy squad, and I think Albania will get something against them as well. I think Croatia are going to be one of the teams grouped for me. Third, I've gone for Albania. Now, I know you're going to call me mental, but I actually think Albania do have a chance of making the knockout stage. And it's their first tournament, but you look at their qualifying, and a lot of the Albanian players, if you actually look at the squad, they do play for decent clubs in kind of the Serie A and La Liga and that sort of thing. They actually do have a couple's actual quality players. And I think they actually are going to have a better tournament than a lot of people think, and I think they will make the knockout stage. Second, I've gone for Italy. Now, Italy, on paper, I see a lot of people saying that Italy are going to have a really bad tournament, and most people, if they're predicting a group stage exit, Italy are the one that people are pointing towards. Now, the reason I disagree with this is because I think having a manager like Spalletti at the wheel is so important, and I feel like the role of a manager is something that people are not looking at, and a manager can be a massive boost for a team and can also be a major hindrance in the sake of some squads. England. So I think that Italy, they've got more great players than you think. Copparella, midfield. Scamacca's a striker, which is a bit of an issue, but he did destroy Liverpool and absolutely boss the Europa League this season, so who knows. I think Italy are going to be a lot better than people think. And the Italians always kind of find a way, don't they? They always play annoying football, and I think they will beat both Albania and Croatia. Okay, first I've gone for Spain. Now, Spain, I think a lot of people are doubting, but I think they should be one of the favourites for the tournament. I think they should be, because I think that squad is so young, so exciting. Of course, Gavi is out of the tournament, but now they have another one in Yamal, who is honestly one of the most insane players. Like, he's genuinely been one of the best wingers in the world, and he's like barely older than me. Like, it's quite mental in reality. So I think Spain, yeah, they're not that 2010, 2012 sort of side, but they may not have that amazing team that they had, but I think they're definitely a team to watch out for. Group C, fourth Serbia. I'm not falling for it again. In the World Cup, I thought Serbia were going to be the dark horse, the one to watch out, and I'm not falling for it again. Serbia are way too leaky defensively. They got Mitrovic, you know, the Saudi Pro League star who scores about 1 million goals over there, but apart from that, I think they're a very dodgy team. I think that their attacking style will get absolutely exploited by Gareth Southgate's England in the first game, and I think Denmark and Slovenia are going to do similar. Third, I've gone for Slovenia. I think Slovenia are very much being underappreciated, undervalued. Of course, having Oblak in goal and having Sesko, you know, someone who just rejected Arsenal at the beginning of the transfer window. Having those type of players can change a tournament and can direct a country to success, and I think that they will be better than Serbia. Second, I've gone for England. Look, I'm really not convinced with Gareth Southgate England squad this tournament, and look, people for a long time have been criticising Gareth Southgate as a manager for his over-reliance on his favourites, that no matter what Jordan Henderson's doing, he'll get a game, no matter what Calvin Phillips is doing or Harry Maguire. But those players have been dropped, and he's dropped the likes of Jack Grealish and Marcus Rashford, people who've been massive staples under him for some time, and instead he's brought a lot of inexperienced players and, you know, players who've not got much. And I don't fault England's attack at all. My worry with England is this makeshift defence that he's put together with Kyle Walker, Kieran Trippier at left back, and two centre backs that could be Mark Guehi and Lewis Dunk. How can you take us seriously when you've got Lewis Dunk at centre back? Like, I know Stones might be available for the second game, but I think England will get out of the group. First, I've gone for Denmark. Now, Denmark were a massive disappointment at the last World Cup, but then, of course, at the previous Euros, they got all the way to the semi-final. And I think people are writing off Denmark because of how poor they were. But it's a very solid team. It is. They've got, you know, so much quality there and some great players. I've got Eriksen being kind of the star of Denmark. I don't know how much he's going to play for them, but I'm just really impressed with Denmark. And I think their form going into the tournament has been impressive. So maybe that's playing recency biased, but I don't know. Okay, Group D, fourth, I've gone for Poland. This is quite obvious. I feel like Poland fans, you had to win a massive qualifier against Wales, and it was a great moment. Then you saw your group, and you were a bit like, well, what was even the point? Because I just can't see Poland even getting a point in this group, to be totally honest with you. I think that Lewandowski on an international level has never really shown it for Poland, and I know it's hard to do it when your team is not great. They've got Matty Cash out as well, not in the squad. He's probably the second most prolific player there, and I just don't see anything in Poland to get through. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just can't see it. I don't think they were very good in the World Cup, to be honest, either. Third, I'm going for Austria. Now, Austria, of course, managed by Ralf Rangnick, who is one of the most, of course, astute, kind of brilliant tacticians in the game, and I think having someone like him at the helm will be important. Austria are a difficult team to face, and there's a potential England could face them in the round of 16, depending on how certain things go. I don't think they'll quite break into the top two of this group, and I think the other two are stronger, but I think Austria will be in the round of 16, and they're going to be frustrating, and I think they could cause an upset at some point in this tournament. Okay, second I've gone for the Netherlands. Now, people seem to be a bit critical of the Netherlands, but I actually think they're a really solid squad. I think the front three of Cody Gakpo, Xavi Simons and Depay is really solid. At the back as well, to have De Ligt and Van Dijk alongside Nathan Ake is just some of the best centre-back options that you can have. Frankie de Jong's injury is of course a massive concern from the Netherlands because he's one of the most exciting creative outlets for them, but I think they do have kind of players who can step in. I don't know how Gini Wijnaldum has gotten to the Netherlands squad, though. I just want to point that out. That's insane that he's there. First, France. I know it's boring, but they're gonna top this group. Like that, they're just going to, aren't they? The France squad again is got to be the favourite. Deschamps, I feel like has to win this one. Potentially, because I think they're definitely one of the three favourites for me. And for me, the three favourites in this tournament are Germany, France and Portugal. And I think one of those three will end up winning it for me. And I think France are a really scary prospect for a lot of teams. Okay, Group E, last Romania. Romania's form recently has been poor, and I'm not going to pretend I know anything about Romania. But guys, you're getting last, I'm sorry. First, Slovakia. Similar here, I don't know a lot about Slovakia, but I think they have more astute, have a bit more going on about them, and I think they will beat Romania, or maybe draw with them and get third. Second, Ukraine. Ukraine are kind of silently a pretty solid squad, you know, they've got some decent players there. I think Mudryk, this might be a really good tournament for him. I think he will shine in this group, playing against the likes of Romania and Slovakia. And it could be he finally kicks on and gives him that confidence to actually show that he's worth the 70 minutes. I doubt it, but one can dream. First, Belgium. Now, a lot of people have been very critical of Belgium, and I actually think Belgium they've got a very poor defence. I mean, that defence is atrocious, but in attack and midfield, they've got a lot of depth going there. And Belgium are better than you think. I think that they will top this group. I don't think they'll go very far in the tournament. I don't see like semi-final, final for them, but they could get the quarters, and they have been on form recently. Okay, Group F. Last I've gone for Georgia. Georgia they're just happy to be there. If you're a Georgia fan, I'm sorry, but it's going to be a quick trip home from Berlin because it's not happening, guys. Third, Turkey. In the last tournament, everyone hyped up Turkey, only for them to not get a single point, and I think they will beat Georgia, but I don't see much from Turkey. I think everyone was rooting them as this great dark horse, and I'm not convinced. Second, I'm going for Czechoslovakia. I think they're the Czech Republic, Czechia, whatever you're called. The last Euros, of course, they got all the way to the quarterfinals, I think, didn't they? England knocked them out, and that was kind of a great run for them, to be totally honest. No, it wasn't England knocked them out, it was Denmark who knocked them out. Yeah, sorry. And I think they've got that experience. I don't know a lot about Czechia again, but I think they do have a bit more going for them than Turkey and Georgia, so that's why I've got them second. First, Portugal. Now, Portugal at the minute are most out to win the whole tournament. That squad is insane in my opinion, and I think to have that midfield options and to have the options that they had is just insane. Like every area of the pitch, and I think they're going under the radar a lot. The big question with Portugal is Ronaldo going to start? And I honestly think a lot of people are disrespecting Ronaldo because, look, he's 39 years old and he's playing in the Saudi Pro League, but he's still in a great kind of physical shape and he'll still be a threat and he'll still have a role to play. I think he could certainly have a very underrated tournament, Ronaldo. But the big, of course, question is the manager that people have, Roberto Martinez, who, similar to England with Southgate, people criticise him. But you know what I mean? He's a decent manager. I know he's like Wigan's best manager, and that's kind of his best accolade. But I think despite Roberto Martinez, Portugal will go far and could potentially win the whole thing. I'm currently looking at a Portugal-France final. The way I've done all the predictors, where I think Portugal will beat Germany in their own country. That's my personal opinion. So I will see you lot soon, and that is my predictions. I will be reacting to these after the group stage, and I'll be doing the knockouts, and we'll see how wrong I really was. I'm going to be way off. I'll see you lot soon. Bye.